Welcome to WETV. This is your host, Craig Finnestead. I want to welcome with me today a bunch of half marathon finishers. The half marathon was on May 1st in Lincoln, Nebraska. It was an absolutely beautiful morning. There was 10,000 runners out there. 63 of them were from the water's edge. We had 63 starters and 63 finishers, and 5 of them are with me right now. We have Justin and Jenny Clements, Jay and Ella Vance, and Lonnie Gibson. First of all, congratulations. You guys did it.
Thanks.
Back in October, November, we kind of got this thing started. And what was it like? You all had obviously signed up for this. You've done it. What was it like when you first started this program? Was anyone nervous that you're going to be able to do this, or did you think you're going to be able to finish?
Oh yeah, I was saying earlier that I trained last summer to run 1.7 miles, and the thought that I was going to run 13.1 just seemed impossible. I didn't think I said, I was going to try because I had a lot of peer pressure from church. People say, you got to do this, you got to do this. And I was like, okay, I can't. But I did it anyway, and I'm just amazed that I accomplished it.
What about others? What was it like in the beginning times? So was there fear that this was something you were going to be able to do, run 13.1 miles?
I didn't think that I would have the time to do it or the energy to do it. And just 13.1 is a long ways, especially when you're not doing anything. And so I didn't think that there was any way I could accomplish it, but through just everybody being there and all the support, I was like, maybe I can do this. So
the first week of the training plan was something like run for 20 minutes where you run 2 minutes and walk 1, and that was about impossible to do anyway. So and even doing that for 20 minutes, you weren't even making a mile. And so I was trying to figure out in my head doing that for 13 miles. Yeah, it just seemed like it was not going to happen.
So Jay, one of the things that's interesting about you is you're a lot smaller now than when you started this process. Tell us about your weight loss and how this has come about.
I started and I was about 210 pounds when we started back getting the training going on, and I'm down to about 185 pounds in that range there. So, which is just exciting for me. It's fantastic. I feel better. I just don't feel like I've got more energy on doing things. So.
Good. So Jenny and Justin, you guys are obviously married. What was it like doing this together as a married couple?
It had its challenges, with young kids at home. It's hard to make time to run and, run together. It was kind of nice. Towards the end, when we had our really, really long runs, like 10 or 11 miles, we actually got a babysitter in the morning, so coming over at 6:30 so we could run together. It was kind of nice, and then we actually ran the marathon, or the half marathon, mostly together till the last water station, and then somebody decided to leave me.
What can I say?
That's why she beat me by 40 seconds. But,
41.
But it was good because it was something we could do together, and something that we last year would have thought was impossible or crazy or stupid.
And just encouraging each other along the way. And did you get your run in tonight? Following the training schedule, and just keeping each other accountable, and just with our other friends too, with Jay and Ella, we really kept each other accountable for getting your training runs in, and those long runs especially. So.
Yeah.
So Lonnie, your husband Steve ran the race as well, but your training partners were mostly some friends from the church. And how did your friends help you succeed during this half marathon process?
Just by, encouraging me daily to get out there and do what it was that was on my plan. And to let me know that, they had all started at the same pace that I had, that, I wasn't a runner, then I was a runner. And then little by little, I just built up. And just by going out there, and even when I was beating myself up with it, I was really struggling. They were like, you did good. You did more than you did last week. You did, and you'll do more next week. And there was never any negativity. It was all just.
So do you think it would have been possible to do this without your friends?
No, I really don't.
Well, Justin, one of the things we had talked about briefly was you've got a chance to meet a lot of new people in the church through this running ministry. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, you see people at church, and you might say hi and kind of move on and run after your kids. But with this, you had 45 minutes to an hour to run with them and kind of talk and get to know them a little bit more than, hey, how's it going? How's life, whatever. But you kind of get to know, about their family, their kids, and what they do, and it's just kind of nice to have that free time to really get to know some more people better than what I did before.
You know, you and I have talked a little bit about, you know, you don't have an athletic past. You know, you're one of the kids that was, you know, picked last for the kickball games and things like
Nope.
that. And, but, you know, it's really cool that, you know, you've embraced this. And, you know, there's 10,000 people, and all 10,000 people are running their own race. We're not racing against each other. We're racing, you know, with each other. And, you know, what is it like for you to, you know, actually finish a half marathon? Like, you know, for you, the girl that wasn't an athletic kid, now you're a woman that's doing something that, you know, very few people have done.
It was really exciting. Like I said before, I didn't think I could ever do this. But with all the support and stuff from everybody, I mean, it was just absolutely incredible to go from not being a runner, not being athletic at all, to being able to say I was a runner. Like that first time I was out running and it was snowing, and I'm like, seriously, I'm one of those crazy people out here now, but I'm a runner now. So I just thought that was really cool.
Now, a number of you have mentioned the time commitment that's required, and it was some time. You know, there's generally 4 or 5 runs per week. On the weekends, there may have been a little bit longer run. How did you manage to fit this into your schedule? You're all busy people. You're all parents. You all have busy lives. What was different about, you know, these last 5 months and getting this done versus previous times when we've tried to exercise before and we just weren't able to quite get things done?
You know, when we started this, we were, the goal was to raise money for kids in Africa. And so that was really encouraging when you finally started your fundraising page and, you know, people are donating to you and, you know, the number keeps going up. It really kept me motivated to, you know, we're in this, we're doing this, we're raising money. And so it just wasn't really an option anymore. You made time to get your runs in, so.
Yeah, you know, one of the things we've done as a church is we've almost raised $27,000 at this point, and I was thinking $3,000 have really come from your 2 families and what you guys have done. I think if we add up the totals between the Clemens and the Vances, it's close to $3,000. And tell us a little bit about your fundraising process and just the impact that this has made on your lives to know that, you know, between the 4 of you, you've raised over $3,000.
I guess the morning of the race, you know, one of the things that I was thinking about was the fact that, you know, there's always those commercials for you can feed a child or somebody in Africa for 50 cents a day, and, you know, we'd raised $1,200, something like that. You know, really, how many meals is that? You know, what kind of an impact does that make? Not just in you know, that person's life, but then they've got their future that they can look forward to. And so, you know, you know, by being able to commit to a run and making it a priority to do so, you know, we looked at, you know, changing some generations of people.
And the fundraising was easy. It wasn't something that we had to like work at. I mean, we sent out an email or 2 and posted on Facebook, and we handed out a couple of letters, but other than that, I mean, it was just, everybody just got logged online from those emails.
Okay, so most of us don't have a lot of experience with racing, and, you know, there's 5 or 6 months of training that's gone into this. What was it like kind of the night before the race or even the morning of the race when you're going to bed, you're waking up? You know, what were some of the thoughts kind of going through your minds?
Nervous for me.
Yeah.
I was more nervous because, and I've been having a nagging injury, kind of pain in my knee, and I was like, hopefully I can make it through the whole thing, you know. And then, you know, about mile 11, it started kicking back in the pain, and I was like, I'm almost there. And it's just those nerves just kind of going, gosh, I hope I can last. I hope I can keep up the pace, because we had goals, you know, to be around 2 hours, and, you know, we came real close to that.
So Lonnie, you have a great story about your mentor Ray. Ray's a friend of mine, and Ray was running with, I think, was it 3? It was with you as well.
Yes.
So he was running with, I think, 4 of you, right?
Mhm.
And one of the things, Ray was doing some other running that morning as well. Tell us the story about really what the finish was like for your group as you guys finished.
I know that when we were about probably mile 12, we were getting close to the end. I had driven it the night before, so I knew where we were and what was getting ready to happen. And I was talking to Ray right toward the end while we were running and just saying, you know, I want to go ahead and get my goodbyes in now because I know you're doing the marathon and want to be able to, you know, to just thank you for everything you've done for us, because I probably won't see you when you get back. And he turned to me while we were running and said, you know, I've put in 5 months with y'all. He says, I'm not going to let you cross that finish line without me. And he said, I'm going to get you there. And so he went all the way into the finish line with us. And as we were coming around is when the emotion was starting to hit, that Ray turned with us. It was, there were 4 of us, and we crossed the finish line within a few seconds all together. And the emotions as I was coming down that tunnel with Ray right behind me, he made sure we all got across, and then he, wished us luck, grabbed his bottle of water, and then went out on the road to find another marathoner to pace to get home as well.
So what was that like for you, Ella, crossing the finish line?
It was awesome to be all together. Ray, as we were coming in, kept encouraging us, stick together. We're a team. We're going to cross this together. And it was just exciting. I mean, like, all that hard work finally paid off. That's what we trained for. That's the whole reason that we did it. That's the whole reason we, did for World Vision. We're out there in our bright orange shirts, and there's nobody who can't see us coming. And it was just awesome to cross that finish line.
One of the things about Ray and also Gary Wasserman, both these guys combined ran about probably 65, 70 miles that day. Gary ran the marathon, then he went back out on the marathon course and paced somebody else in. Ray ran the half marathon, went back out on the marathon course, paced somebody else in. So, those 2 guys, a lot of running, that's just part of the team that we experienced. And Jenny, Justin, Jay, and I ran with Allison Reimer, and that was a lot of fun. The 5 of us run together, and we were getting a lot of comments on the orange shirts as well.
Yeah, the Go Team Orange, or somebody that actually read our shirts, the Go Team World Vision. It was kind of nice seeing, a pack of us, so people knew that we were running for something instead of just, hey guy, good job,
Yeah.
It was Go Team World Vision, or if they couldn't read us because we were running so fast, it was Go Orange or something like that. So
or we had the Go Team Vision too.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that was funny.
And it was fun running together, and it really helped, I thought, to run in a group. And sometimes you kind of have, a couple would go ahead, but you always kind of stayed there, and so.
And I had a couple of shout outs, so people say, I give my money to Team World Vision.
Yeah.
That people already sponsoring kids and whatnot. It was just, making them more aware of it.
So Jenny, you had a goal of breaking 2 hours, and how did that work out for you?
Well, it worked, thanks to you, Craig. During our, training runs the last couple times, you kept telling me, if you stick with me, since you did the full, if you stick with me for my first half, I'll get you there in 2 hours. So the whole time I'm thinking, okay, I have to stick with Craig. And, we've never ran that far without stopping. Usually, we'll run the Lake of Zerinsky, stop for water, and, first water station, you're running through. So here we go, running through. And we didn't stop. We ran the entire thing, didn't walk once because.
And what was your time?
1:59:51. So. I barely made it. And
And do you know your last 2 miles were your fastest 2 miles?
yes, I do, and I could feel that as well. But no, I mean, at mile 11, you looked at us, both of us, and you said, if you want to beat 2 hours, you need to step on the gas. So
what did it feel like when you found out? What did it feel like when you found out that you actually made the time?
Oh, it was a great feeling. The whole way into the marathon, I think I was literally sprinting because I kept watching my watch and the seconds are counting down. And I thought, if I get like 2:03, I am not going to be happy. So, and I saw you were a little bit ahead of me, you and Allison, and I saw you go off to your finish the go on the marathon course, and I turned the corner around the stadium there, and I thought, Craig got me here. He told me I was getting here in 2. I better not let him down. So no, it was a good feeling to break that goal. And that, like I said, that I wouldn't have really cared either way, but it was just a kind of a goal I had with myself. And thank you to you for getting me there. So
yeah, that's one of the really cool things about running is that there's 63 runners on our team. There's really 63 different stories. We're not racing against each other. We're racing beside each other and with each other. I'd be interested to know, what are some of the life lessons that y'all have learned from this whole process of really starting from scratch 6 months ago with fears that you'd be able to finish to that day on May 1st when you cross the finish line in Memorial Stadium? What would be some of the life lessons that y'all have learned and will really apply for the rest of your life?
I'm thinking that if it's something that really matters, it's going to take some work, but it's going to be worth it. It's not going to happen overnight, and I'd do it again.
I would say that, if you put your mind to it, you can do anything. Thinking back to November when my sedentary couch lifestyle was, you know, I didn't even think I could run 4 miles, and then here I am 6 months, 7 months later running that far, and just amazing.
One of the things for me too has just been getting the exercise in. You know, basically since I had kids, I really didn't exercise because I didn't make the time. But you know, just doing this, I feel better. I enjoy the time when I am running, either with people or by myself. Just time to think and you know things like that. So that's been a part of it. A big change for me and our household, I think too, is we hope to keep running and just staying healthy too, and showing that to our kids. That's been kind of cool too, because the kids, Mommy, are you going running today? Are you doing so they see that and they see the importance of that and the group, everybody running together. So that's been really neat too.
Yeah, one of the things that I've learned from the process is that humans can do so much more than what we believe that we can do, and I think when there's a good strategic plan that we're following, and we just follow that relentlessly and with passion, when we have the support of others, and when we really have the support and the encouragement of God. And I really think one of the things we learned with this process as well is when we're doing something for somebody that's greater than ourselves. We didn't do this for ourselves. We ran this for kids in Africa, and I think when you combine those 4 things, the scriptures that talk about we can do all things through Christ who gives us strength, we can see that they've come true in your lives. 6 months ago this was something you didn't think you can do, and now I can do it. Just one last thing, and that is, what would you say to someone that might be interested in doing this in the fall? We're going to kick this back up for the Omaha Marathon, Half Marathon, and 10K in late September. We'll probably do it again next spring as well for the Lincoln Marathon and Half Marathon. What would you say to someone that's kind of on the fence and maybe looking at doing something like this, but they're not sure? What advice would you give to them?
I would tell them just do it. Sign up. Find somebody to run with. Find, kind of like Lonnie and Ella found a partner that was, their level. That way you can run together and kind of have that motivator, and it's just great to have somebody and something bigger than yourself to run for too as well. And kind of like you always said, it starts with one step. Just got to start.
I think this group, it was so much more than just training to run a half marathon. The friendships that were forged through this, the things that we saw occur with the run, the laps right before the marathon with Bill Draper and different things like that, that just a church coming together. It wasn't just us going 13.1 miles for the kids in Africa. There were so many other lives were touched in the making of this.
I guess one of the things that I was thinking is, you can't be afraid. I mean, we all said there's no way we can do it, but if we had given into that fear, then yeah, there'd be no chance at it. And so we said, okay, I'm going to do it, and we committed to it, and we said, okay, whatever happens, happens, and we're going to do this. And well, all 6 of us finished our own, the race we set out on.
I think too, there's encouragement, there's support, there's, everything is on your side to be able to do it. So no matter how down on yourself about it you are, if you have even the slightest desire to do it, you can accomplish it.
So as far as your experiences in life, how would you rate this one we've been married, we've had kids, those days are at the top, but how does this day stack up compared to most of the rest of your days?
Pretty high up there. It just because, like I said, starting out we didn't think we could do it, and then actually finishing and having that kind of just that high when you cross, you're like, I'm done, I did it, it's awesome. I didn't stop, I ran through the whole thing, and it's just amazing because, it was just something that I didn't think I could ever do. And
Yeah.
I think there's so many of us too that I think have discovered that we like running. Like that was never something I would have said before, and I actually like it a lot more than I ever thought I would.
So y'all gonna do it again, September, Omaha?
Do something, yeah.
10K.
Yeah.
10K.
ask me next week when
No, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'll do it again for sure.
All right, check out our website, www.runningforkidsinafrica.com. We're going to have information on our September event, which will be the Omaha Marathon, Half Marathon, and 10K. There's helpful videos there. There's going to be training plans. Check out that website, runningforkidsinafrica.com. Now, I invite you to join us this Sunday morning at the Water's Edge, May 8th. It's going to be a great worship service. It's going to be Mother's Day, and the message is going to be called The Source, and God is really the source of life. And what we're going to be doing is looking at really who God is, some of the false notions that we have about God, and really what the Bible says who God actually is, a loving parent who loves us and has created us and wants what's best for us. So that is Sunday morning, May 8th. We have worship services at 9 o'clock and 10:30. So we will see you hopefully on Sunday morning. If not, we will see you next week here on WETV.